Good afternoon, students. Welcome to Unibek Group of Schools. My name is Emmanuel, and today we have basic technology on the topic maintenance. Yes, today we have maintenance, and if I may ask, what is maintenance? Maintenance is the act of keeping equipment in good condition by ensuring that it is regularly checked. The act of keeping our equipment in good condition to ensure that they are in a good form. Not only equipment, even in our house, we will keep our house clean by mopping the floor, dusting the television, another part of the house. We are trying to maintain our house. Even we can also maintain our body by taking our beds, brushing our teeth. All those things are what? Maintenance. But we emphasize on equipment we have in our workshop. How do we maintain them? Like I said, is the act of keeping equipment in good condition by ensuring that it is regularly what? Checked. You check it regularly. Maintenance is not something you will just do once in a month or once in a year. It's regularly, day by day, day in, day out. You check it, you maintain it, you clean it. For instance, in our workshop, we clean it every day. We dust the equipment, mop the floor, make sure they're in a good form. That is maintenance. And we have two types of maintenance. We have three types of maintenance. When we talk about maintenance, we should emphasize on PPC maintenance. Yes, types of maintenance tags. We talk of PPC maintenance. Now, what do I mean by that? By PPC maintenance? One, we have the predictive. Predictive maintenance. We have the predictive maintenance. Number two, we have the preventive. Preventive maintenance. And we have the corrective. Number three, we have the corrective maintenance. That is the predictive, predictive maintenance. We have preventive maintenance. We have corrective maintenance. That is what I mean by PPC maintenance. Predictive, preventive, and corrective. Now we'll start with the predictive. As the name implies, to predict. To predict something before it happens. To predict something before it takes place. For instance, we can predict using a modern device to predict our equipment and know when they are about to get faults. For instance, in our cell phone, if you watch, if the battery wants to run down, you will see a signal, you will hear a signal tinting showing that the battery wants to run down. And what will you do? And you go and do what? Recharge it. That signal is under predictive. It's predicting that the battery is about to run down. It's a device that predicts when something is going wrong. That predictive, it simply means to foresee something before it happens. Here we use a molding device to predict it. For instance, I have a problem, and everybody knows that one of the symptoms of diabetes mellitus is frequent urine. If you're urinating frequently, and maybe you go to hospital and find out what's wrong with you, and you see, if you complain to a doctor will like to use equipment or any device to diagnose you and know the faults. And that equipment they use to diagnose it is under predictive. They use equipment to detect that you are about to look at what you are about to happen to you in future, in time to come. If you continue this, we are going to have diabetes. They use equipment to detect it. And when they detect it, they will not encourage you to stop the intake of sugar or take these drugs or do this or do that for you to prevent that. So they use that equipment to dictate what is about to happen to you. It's under what? Predictive maintenance. Now, let's go to corrective maintenance. The second one we have on the board. Corrective maintenance. The corrective maintenance involve regular check of the equipment right from the installation. Immediately you install the equipment, there will be regular check. You check the equipment, check it, service it. If there is any worn out part, you repair it. There must be regular check to prevent it from breakdown. For instance, like I said before, if a doctor, let's say you went to hospital, like I said before, and a doctor diagnosed that you are going to have diabetes, and what will you do? The doctor will encourage you to stop taking sugar or too much or excessive sugar, or advise you to take such a drugs to prevent it. And when you're taking that drugs, or you stop the too much intake of sugar, you're trying to prevent yourself from getting what? Diabetes. That is prevention. Like in equipment, we check our equipment day by day, we service it. If there's any worn out parts, you remove it and replace it immediately. It will make the equipment to be in good form, to be in good condition. Alright, let's go to the number 3, as we have it on the board. Corrective maintenance. Corrective maintenance. It simply means to correct. Corrective maintenance simply means when the system breaks down already, you now use corrective measure to resuscitate it, to bring it back to life. The measure you take, we call it corrective, because the system already damaged. And when a doctor advises us to, like I said before, I use an instance of somebody who wants to develop diabetes. If you fail to obey the doctor's instruction, if you stop the essence of sugar intake and stop to take the prescribed drugs, you see yourself you develop diabetes. And when you develop the diabetes, you see there is a need to do what? You start taking drugs to correct it, the damaged part. And when the system already breaks down, it's something as we use, we emphasize on equipment. The equipment must be checked regularly. Failing to do that, it will make the system to break down. You will see in the morning, before your parents go out in the morning, watch them, like the car owners. They open the bonnet, they pour water in the radiator, they check the oil level in the engine, they check the tire. What are they trying to do? They're trying to prevent that car from breakdown, so that you do not disappoint them on the road. Because if they don't check that, they did not observe all those things, of course the system will do what? Will break down. And when the system breaks down, it's another problem. And they begin to look for mechanic that will come and repair it. It's under corrective maintenance. Is that taken? Alright. Let's go to, as well on our specific objective, number 3, state the importance of maintenance. Importance of maintenance. Importance. Importance of maintenance on the board. Here we have number 1, keep equipment in good working condition. Keep equipment in good working condition. Before, if you want to maintain your equipment, you must keep them in good working condition by taking those measures: servicing, repair, removing the worn out parts. When you're doing that, you're trying to maintain the equipment and keep them in a good working condition. And number 2, we have avoid sudden breakdown of the equipment. You must avoid sudden breakdown of the equipment. This is why maintenance is important. Importance of maintenance. It's very important that because you must avoid sudden breakdown of the equipment. When it not service the equipment, you're trying to manage it. For instance, you detect that something is wrong, and if you have to call the mechanic or replace the one apart, you want to manage. Maybe by tomorrow, you will take the you will fix it and let you manage it today. You will see. Before that tomorrow, it will break down and it will disappoint you. So it's very, very important for us to avoid this sudden breakdown of the equipment. We must replace the worn out parts. Number 3, avoid accident or hazard in the course of using the machine. You must avoid accidents and hazard in the course of what? Using those machines. Rest. Number 4, reduce the cost of repairing damaged or fault equipment. You must reduce the cost, because if corrective maintenance is very expensive, if you not take those precautions in the predictive, you not predict the problem, you not prevent it, it will lead to damage of the equipment, which will lead you to corrective, and to correct it is very, very costly. You must reduce the cost of repairing the damaged equipment. Now we have number 5, avoid time wasting. Yes, you must avoid that, because you have to maintain the equipment. But failing to do that, when it's damaged, you will see. You take it to a mechanic, the mechanic will tell you that I don't have chance tomorrow. Start procrastinating. Before you know it, your motor or your machine will park in the mechanic workshop for a long time. So in order to avoid time wasting, you must maintain it regularly. I will have another one, avoid wasting of energy on the job. Yes, to avoid wasting of energy on the job, you must maintain those equipment. Alright, let's go to some common material, some common maintenance, some common maintenance tools and materials. Yes, we have on the board some common maintenance tools and materials. Number 1, we have the oil. Oil, is one of the material tools we use. Oil. What is the function of oil if we want to maintain our equipment? This allows metals to have a smooth movement over one another with little friction. Yes, it allows the free movement of metal over of metal to have a smooth movement over one another, and with little friction. If maybe the part of the machine is stiff and it cannot turn, what we do to ease the movement, we have to put oil. Oil serves as lubrication. It serves all the joints of the machine to be effective. Now we have water. It's one of the tools we have. We have water. What is the function of water? This is used to cool the engine of a car when in motion. Water is used to cool the engine of a car when in motion. That is the function of water. Sorry. It's used to cool the engine of a car when in motion. We have workshop tools. Number 3, we have workshop tools. We have workshop tools. If you go to in our workshop today, we have different tools we use in maintenance. We have different tools we use. And number 1, we use them to tighten, loosen, cutting, or join things together. Example of the workshop tools: we have the spanner, and we have the screwdriver. Now another one is brush. We have brush. We have the brush. The function of this brush is used to remove the dust from the machine. And we have the paint and grease, a lot of them. None of the grease serves the same function as the oil, like I explained before. At this point, I will stop here, but let's quickly go to the class activities. Class activities, and the students, they are meant to fill this gap. Number one, dash is an act of keeping equipment in good condition. If you don't answer, you see the dash side here, you fill the answer here. Dash is an act of keeping equipment in good shape. I've explained it before. So the answers are there. If you pay attention, you can be able to solve it. I repeat again. Dash is an act of keeping equipment in good shape. Number two, servicing an equipment before it breaks down is called dash. Number three, dash is used to allow smooth contact between metals. Number four, dash is used to cool engines. Number five, dash is used to remove dirt and dust from machine. Here we have our assignments. We have our assignments on the board. Demonstrate how you will ensure that tools and machines in your school workshop are properly maintained. Alright, I will stop here. See you in the next class. Thank you.